What is going on, guys? ShadyMikeGaming, and we're doing this live. And when I say live, I mean live. I do apologize, I've been a little bit busy and haven't had time to edit videos together. However, I did want to address some news circulating around the NBA 2K community regarding NBA 2K21. So we're doing this live, we're one taking it, no edits, we recording and uploaded. So I wanted to cover a few different things in this video. I wanted to respond to Baluba, aka Mike Wang, some of the information he put out on Twitter today, and then also I wanted to respond to a video that TGsoGood put up on YouTube, and just wanted to you know, get into some of that and talk some 2K21 news with you guys. So TGsoGood, aka the goods on YouTube, doesn't need any introduction from me. Big YouTuber, I'm a lot bigger than my channel, and deservedly so, because he's done a lot for this community, especially in terms of modding. So he asked a really good question on Twitter, and you know, tagged some really big 2K YouTubers in it, myself, Shakedown, the real Shady. I'm Shady Mike, but you know, the real Shady. You know what I'm saying? I don't even belong in the conversation with a lot of these people, but I did want to do my due diligence and respond to it, because I didn't really feel like I could respond to it in just a comment. So I definitely wanted to, you know, give, you know, my response in video form. And moral of the story, TGsoGood, he said, I need your feedback on this subject matter. Was there room for NBA 2K to utilize in-game assets even more than they did this gen? And he uploaded a YouTube video going a little bit more in depth. I'm going to link that video. Definitely go watch it, like it, subscribe to him, and then this is going to be my response. So if you want to watch that first, that would definitely be beneficial. But I just wanted to address the subject matter. And when people talk about in-game assets, I know a lot of it's going to be graphical. I know a lot of it's going to be you know, graphics and tattoos and things of that nature. But when I talk about the assets that are available in 2K, I go straight to attributes and I go straight to ratings. I go straight to rosters. And one of the things that I said was, people like myself, Celtic G, Pop Boy, people that have put time and effort into improving this game via sliders, and it's starting to like lightning outside, so I'm a little nervous about that, my bad. But people that have put effort into making this game better have shown what's possible with the tools that we currently have. I have 1,000+ DMs with people talking about my sliders and how I changed the game and how much better 2K plays and how unplayable it is without my slider set or someone else's slider set, just sliders in general. We all know what Celtic has done on the consoles and making his roster and just utilizing the tendencies that are available to us and making this game play completely different. So I feel like 2K in this coming gen owes it to us to make these games play realistic. The NBA average over 33s a game. We'd be lucky if the CPU shoots 15. There's no turnovers. There's no shooting fouls. There's no fouls away from the ball. When we talk about utilizing assets, you know what I'm saying? Let's try and replicate the game, and I think that 2K, you know, kind of owes it to us. And so, you know, this was my response on Twitter, and I just wanted to kind of you know, expand on that. I said, short answer, 2K owes it to the community to put as much into gameplay as they do into Park, my team, etc. Slider makers like myself and roster makers like Celtic have shown what's possible with these games. So the thing that frustrates me is you have people like myself, you have people like Celtic that have been doing this for years. If you don't want to put the time into doing tendencies for each team, hire someone to do it, because we're here, we're in the community. But it's just unacceptable to launch the game in the state it's in every year. You can't do a franchise or a My League to start the year because the game plays so bad out of the box. And I know that I personally, at this point, have gotten almost a rep for being overly negative towards 2K, and I want to, because I'm going to get into some stuff that Mike Wang said. I'm going to get into some stuff that Dazar said. I have the most respect for these people and what they do and what they've already done. I'm just asking for you to treat the sim community the same way that, you know, the park and my team community is treated, because we're paying the same $60. Now, we may not be paying the extra $100, $200, $300 in VC, but we still bought this game for $60, and we deserve an experience that I don't have to spend hundreds of hours tweaking sliders away from my family, away from my job, away from my career, trying to make the game playable. Not good, just playable. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to address that and comment on that. That's my response to TG's video and his comment. Now, moving on into some of the things that Beluba said earlier today, and I wanted to address this tweet because it's just, I don't even know how to, we'll just get into it. He says, the key to making layups with the Pro Stick this year is, instead of holding the stick to the left or the right, hold it in the direction you want for a brief moment, then I guess quickly rotate it to 12 o'clock to find the ideal aim point, and that's gonna affect your success rate. And I'm gonna get into some of the responses to the tweet, but I have to, my immediate response, and this is just unscripted, just unfiltered, my immediate response is, who on earth asked for that? Who said, yep, that's, yo, you seen the new 2K21, dog? You gotta move the Pro Stick up to the top to make layups now. That's not what we need at all. That's not what we need. And you know, the number one thing is, Mike, you play real shooting percentage anyway. Well, I'm gonna have to, because this is the type of stuff, I get it. We're trying to create a skill gap, but can't the skill gap, isn't that what ratings are for? If your ratings don't create a skill gap on how you make layups, what's the point of having the ratings? Then just do stuff like this. So I don't get this decision at all from 2K. And it's funny because the first response that I see from D for 3, huge respect for D for 3, really big part of this community, especially in the modding community as well. You know, on NLSC and things of that nature. And listen to what he says here. He says the game is already overly animated, overcomplicated, with heavy animations and lack of control, and an overabundance of two-man animations with forced missed layups constantly at the hoop. Gets this type of, I don't know, I don't really get the ending there, but he's more or less, so he says this makes no sense big picture wise, and I get it. We're trying to get more fluid, organic gameplay, sucking us into more animations. I just don't get it. He continues on here. He says, you need to remember what had people really enjoying 2K basketball games. The loose, fun, balanced gameplay where controls made sense. I understand being innovative, and of course there are still ways to do that, like with 2K16 when you had 4 size options, but come on. And I just gotta co-sign that. There's nothing more I need to say. I just co-sign that. I agree 100%. We talked about these games, 2K15, 2K11, the games, the great 2K games. You know, I'll even at this point, you gotta throw 2K19 in there, because 2K19 had better dribbling than 2K20. This is not it. This is just not the way to go. And I get what people are automatically going to say is like, oh, you know, you're just ripping something before you've tried it, before you've even seen it. But I'm just saying that that's not what makes a game fun, and that's not what makes it good. And Dazar, again, a person, just, I'm a big fan. I don't know what else to say. Just a huge fan. And he's one of the people that's really stood up for the sim community for over these years. And he says, then just use the button. It's an advanced control. If you want simple, just use the button. Using the stick will help with most contested layups. And I get that. And I get what we're trying to say. We have the option. But it's not really an option when it's clear that the person using the stick in this weird animation, this weird mechanic, is going to have an advantage over us. And someone below says, so if we use the Pro Stick, will we get an advantage, a boost? And he says, yes, big boosts and big penalties. And again, that's just to make a skill gap. And I'm just not sure. And again, this is just me being honest. This is just me being open. I'm not sure who asked for this, and I'm not sure this is the way to go. I could be wrong, and you guys know me. I've never had an issue about when I'm wrong, saying I'm wrong, but This guy here at Jimmy Bucket says, so you took this poll and this is what you guys came up with, an even more complicated layup system, where you can see a poll that Beluba took back in April. It seems like people don't want a more complicated layup system. So I wanted to address that there as we keep going through the tweets. Mike Wang says this is also going to affect post moves. Okay, my question is, are we going to be getting any post animations in any way for people like Embiid to be dominant in the post? Because I don't remember 2K touching post animations in years. The post game has been that weird animation drop step, the post drive that always ends in an awkward layup, or just shimmy fades and normal fades and step back fades, and that's it. So are we going to get a revamp of the post animations? I would hope so. And I'd like to go back into the tendency conversation. The CPU doesn't throw the ball into the post anyway, ever, to post presence guys. And so that's something that needs to be addressed too. And I got to speak on that. The gentleman here, Mad Jim Jasper, says straight trash, homie. Ain't nobody got time to be doing all that BS just to make a layup. Y'all tripping. You ever heard the expression, leave well enough alone? And this better be optional, meaning I can go in the settings and change it back, or I might be requesting a refund. And again, Beluba comes back and says, yes, you can turn it off, but you should try it first. It'll make you a better finisher if you can adjust. So they're saying, yeah, you can turn it off, but you're gonna be trash if you do, because everyone that uses this is gonna have an advantage. So that's kind of the way to in my opinion, force something on you. And later on he says that's what I was going for, creating a skill gap for slashers. And again, I believe the rating should create the skill gap and the difference there and the animations that you unlock. But what do I know? And honestly, that's why I'm not into parking, and I couldn't get into it, because it just, that doesn't work for me. Now the last thing that I want to touch on, and I'm going to wrap it up here. I know I've been rambling for quite a bit, but a gentleman named Jay Cool says, so my players don't transfer from current gen to next gen. Mike Wang says, the next gen my player builds, badges, and takeovers aren't the same as current gen, so the saves aren't compatible. Okay, so what are we doing about my $60? What are we doing about my extra $40 that you charge to get the VC? You know what I'm saying? So if there's more information on this that I don't know about, I apologize, but are we going to have the chance to respec our players? Are we going to have a chance to get our money back from VC that we spent? Or are you basically just going to say, nah, you're a hit because you bought the last gen version of 2K? Obviously, this is for the people that are getting the next gen version, because if you're on PC, you're not getting it at all. But I'm saying, if I'm on PlayStation and want to get 2K21 in a month when it comes out, even though we have no information on the game, and I play it and invest in a character, what do I get progress wise, money wise, going into the next gen game to show that? I need an explanation on that, because if not, that's just a straight up finesse. Like, that's just doing your loyal customers wrong. And you know what, I have to say it, and I know people would say, Mike, like, if you ever want to make an impact on this community, you shouldn't say stuff like this. But I gotta be honest, I put too much time into helping, too much time into trying to make this community better. I feel taken for granted with this whole next gen, last gen situation. There's no other game company that could pull this crap. The game comes out in 20 days and we don't know anything about it. And we're just, hey, it's $60. Just go ahead, buy it. Stop playing. Just go ahead and buy it. No, we're not gonna tell you anything about it. Just go buy it real quick. We got no gameplay, got a bullcrap trailer. I mean, I feel taken for granted. I feel like 2K, they know they're getting $60 from it, so they don't gotta put an effort into marketing and stuff like that. So I just had to say that. I had to get that off my chest. I did read this tweet. I was happy about it. Mike Wang said there are more jump shooting fouls when you make contact with the shooter. That should have been in the game, but you know, I'm very happy to see that. And he also said that they're getting rid of the green release under the CPU. I think they should get rid of green releases altogether. There's no such thing as a green release. It's not a magical flash under somebody's feet. You don't know a shot's gonna go in. That just causes guys to not block out, not box out. I don't like that. I don't think that's the spirit of basketball. But guys, that's just some 2K news. That's just me. That's just me talking. That's just me venting. If you guys like the content, I'm sorry for kind of the format here. It's just me over a window here. I'm not the most edited video in the world, but I appreciate you guys stopping in for more content. Definitely subscribe, like the video, and other than that, guys, I'm out. Peace.